2D designers. In this quick screencast, we're going to set up the background texture for our file. So I'm going to go over into Bridge to my assets file and pick out this image. I've already brought it in from the raw and saved it as the TIFF, so I'm going to just double click that to open it in Photoshop. And you see it's opened as its own file. This is the parent file, that's the artwork that we're working on, but here's the source photograph. And I like all these veins, the crags here, but I want to pull them out and get rid of all this other stuff. So we will use a trick that we used earlier in the semester, going layer, new adjustment layer, threshold. And here with the threshold, I can play with the slider. And what I'm going for is those veins and crags there. I kind of like that. I'll click back to my layers. But there's some extra noise here that I don't want. So I'm going to flatten this. And now I'm going to use this eraser. And you see what size it is right now. I can use my bracket tools. The right bracket makes it bigger, the left bracket makes it smaller. And I'm just going to erase some of this visual information so that I retain the lines but have less of this tone. Making it smaller. All right, so when you start preparing your images, you might find yourself spending a lot of time doing this kind of work, but just do what makes it look right to your eye. That looks pretty cleaned up. All right, so now I have a beautiful background texture that, like we talked about in class, this will sort of be like visual yeast. Yeast and a loaf of bread spreads out through the loaf, and it gives the whole loaf this texture and rise. So I want to get this over into my file, but it needs to be the correct size. So let's check on that size. So image size, and over here I see that this image is 300 dpi. That's good. It's the same DPI as my parent file, but it is a little bit too big and too tall. So I'm going to use the crop tool. And in the crop tool, when you click it, it may come into some other default or presetting. So what I'm going to do is choose width times height times resolution. So when the width to be 11 inches, I'm going to hit IN just in case it's thinking in pixels. So 17 inches. Okay, so you see that's vertical. I can just click these arrows to make it horizontal. And then I will verify I want it to be 300 pixels per inch. You see that there. So now I'll click return, okay, and accept that. There we go. So now I can just do Command A to select it all, Command C to copy it. I can bring it over into my parent file, and I'm just going right down to the bottom. I'm going to click the bottom layer and hit Command V as in Victor, and that made a new layer right there. Those are the veins, the textures that I brought in for the background. So you can take this, and when you bring something in, I'm noticing the lower left, is where the darkest area is. If you want the darkest area to be in the upper right, you can go up here and do image rotation. You can put this in the other corner. Thinking. All right, so we could do that to place it, or you could use the tricks we learned in prior classes about our pattern class. You could use mirror horizontal or mirror vertical. So you can really arrange this exactly how you want it to be. So I wanted to show you that. Let me go over here to another. So this is the image that I wanted to show you. You recognize this. This is a folded book like we did in class, just practicing the structure of the book. And this is what I call a model because it's very simple. It lets me know where the cover is going to be, where each pages are. I've numbered them so I can see which way is up. But this scribble here, this is really my concept. I'm going to have the cover introducing the book, which is about the environment and the earth. And there's some good stuff happening, but then there are darker moments. And in the end, I want it to be lighter again. So this model, even though it looks so simple, really is capturing my idea, my concept of a darker time emerging into a lighter time. So you can see I want it in the lower left. Then returning to our texture here, I will go ahead and rotate this, because that dark area will work well for me over here in this lower left portion of the book. There you go. So in the next video, we'll talk about creating a large overall shape. See you there.